Hi everybody, welcome to SA Soccer. I've got Moneyball to my right, your left, and Money Boy, Ali. 31 out of 49 you've predicted right. That is outstanding in any betting circle. You can take that record and become a pro gambler. Moneyball, 58. I think your two fans out there probably
28 out of 49.
28 out of 49.
Teething problems.
Teething problems. I had those when I was 2. What's going wrong?
I think, like I said before, if I'm not 100% sure, I'm going for a draw.
Yeah.
But in the Premier League, that is in reality. I just need to start being more assertive and actually pick a side.
Yeah, you must get sick of coming in here and seeing the old guy, the old dog. You know, just can't catch him.
Every time I write the rap, it grinds my gears.
I love your raps. They're legendary. Interesting week again. It's always an interesting week in the Premier League. You know, the thing the game that I really thought Man City could slip up. They came back. They came from 1-0 down, and it's 15 out of the holding serve, 15 out of 15 points. And you got Liverpool doing well, Arsenal doing well, Brighton beating Man United again. It's
for all our worry and sort of concern about Liverpool. Look, it's a long season, and I still think we're going to kind of struggle come the end of the season with legs. But Liverpool, if you look at it, have actually picked up 13 points from possible 15. I think have kind of every week proved to be, with the results, a little bit better than we expected. So I think when I was looking at the log just before we shot now, it's like actually some teams kind of like go about doing their thing fairly quietly. You don't actually realize that they're getting victories. I think you called me out last week on Arsenal. I said not quite the start they'd expected, and you're like, well, they've actually picked up pretty much as many points as they could have.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, when you're playing 80% like Liverpool are. Winning 80% of the points available. It's excellent. It's just that they're playing the same league with Man City. Man City's depth is just...
Yeah, I think every time you want to doubt them, just don't. It's kind of...
Yeah. And Holland hasn't been firing. He's been very unlucky. And God help the league when he does.
It's weird because he's still top scorer. He's still got 7.
Yeah.
But he's not destroying.
Let me ask you guys a question. I was chatting to an investor, actually, an institutional investor, and I was saying to him, what's the difference between, if I could get 40%, which you can't, 40% still available on Man City to win the Premier League. 40% return on your money in any game is great. Would you guys, if you had a couple million spare, would you put a couple million into that bet?
On Man City to win that? Nah.
Why? Would you put money into a marketplace? We saw the results of people betting on Steinhoff. Yeah. The market's pretty turbulent. Can you name a better investment than a 40% return on a Man City?
I think just out of principle, I'd struggle to support Man City every week.
Well, let's just assume that you have no principles.
I think it's a good bet. It's a very solid bet. I don't see them slipping up more than a couple times this season, and I see the other teams slipping up more. So
yeah.
Do you know what I think? I think that sort of comes down to is not that any of these teams can't beat Man City on their day. It's that who else has the longevity to not slip up as many times as Man City don't slip up. So it's like yes, Liverpool could potentially beat City. I mean, Spurs have done it for the last few years on their day, but then we'll still go on to lose a couple of other games. That for City is their 1 or 2 losses in the season, So it's not that they can't suffer 1 or 2, it's that they're not suffering kind of like 5 or 6.
I think in the Pep Guardiola era, a draw is a loss.
Yeah.
Like when Liverpool were going toe-to-toe with them, I think they lost 1 game all season, got like 98 points or 97 points, and they still didn't win the league. Yeah. So to go head-to-head with that, where they are doing it every single year, and they're strengthening every single year, for like 40% is a great investment.
I've been trying to convince our CFO to put a couple million into Man City as a 800,000 rand return. I can live with that. But he's a bit reluctant, so I'll have to work on him a little bit more.
Speaking of big investments, Newcastle finally got their first win.
Not in the Champions League, they didn't.
No.
But yeah, they did, but it wasn't convincing, was it?
No.
1-0 to Brentford.
Brentford as well, yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's a tight league again. I think you're probably going to need a lot of points to win the league, but not many to stay up.
No, I think the thing about the bottom of the Premier League now is that so many teams are playing front foot football right now that they're very beatable. It's not like how it used to be where you'd have the original Burnley, or you'd have West Brom, or you'd have I don't know, someone else, say like Sheffield the last time they were in the Premier League, where they would low block 11 people behind the ball. You'd have 30 shots at them, but they'd all be from outside the box. No real like threat in behind. But now Burnley are playing front foots, Sheffield are playing relatively front foots. Like the only team that isn't is Everton, but that's because they can't.
Yeah, and three
What did you
points.
say in the rap? They can't avoid can't avoid defeat.
Yeah.
Can't seem to avoid defeat.
Well, there's 3 points covering 20th to 15. I think that's going to play out interestingly in the year, and I think it's going to be pretty tight. You're going to have a lot of guys in the relegation fighting to avoid relegation. That's going to be the primary focus. It'll be interesting now as we start the Champions League in the group stages, and seeing the depth of the squad, because the wear and tear that a team takes when they start playing in the Champions League, it'll affect teams like Newcastle. Man City, again, this is what plays into Man City's strength for me, and why I think at 40% they're a good bet. If you don't need the money, and you can, and I mean, everybody needs money, but if you don't need to spend the money straight away, and you want to take the Premier League finishes in May, so what's that? We're now into
8 months or 9 months or something.
So it's an 8 month. If you could get a 40% return in 8 months, it's all been guaranteed, isn't it? So if you've got money to invest and you're happy to sit on it, make that investment. Man City, to me, it offers a great return at 40%. I was surprised. I thought it'd be around 20, but at 40%, it's definitely something I'm looking at putting a bit of money into. But yeah, so any teams that have pleasantly surprised you, any that have that you now believe are got two hands on the relegation cup?
Chelsea. Look, I mean, I think it's still going to be pretty straightforward who goes down, you know. I think Luton have high hopes. Sheffield were, it's unlucky in that game. Where are they sitting on the log at the moment?
Sheffield, 17.
Yeah, I think if anything, it'll be between Sheffield and Burnley fighting to stay up. But Everton and Luton, for me, this is the season Everton finally go down.
I think if you look at the teams around Everton and Luton, well, Everton they aren't defensively great, and they aren't creating any chances, and that's the perfect recipe to get relegated. If you're bad at both ends, there's nothing you can really focus on and try get through games with.
Can't work on your strengths if you don't have any.
Exactly. And I think Sean Dyche's days are numbered. He's been there for, I think, almost a year now, probably more than a year. Hasn't really improved numbers-wise since Frank Lampard was there at all. And yeah, I could see him being the first manager being sacked.
Well, yeah, I think that another couple of results and he's gone. The cost of being relegated to a team like the Toffees is huge. I think Luton for sure. I think Wolves also are going to be struggling, and Everton. I just don't. They don't have much on that team. They're not a.
Yeah.
They almost are a championship team. So anyway, so definitely 40% return on Man City. The same culprit's going to be relegated.